It's beautiful so far. How are we all getting on in the weather? Let's wait for some people to arrive. Say hello. Live across YouTube Live, Facebook, our wonderful, wonderful group on Facebook, which is kind of changing the attitudes towards Facebook groups. It's fantastic. That's Actors Worldwide. Make sure you're part of it. Lots of advice, help, motivation for actors worldwide. If you're on, say hello. Adam already says, hi, mate. How are you? I'm really good. Thank you. I have a new boot on for my ruptured Achilles. It's a bit warm. Struggled to sleep last night, but so did everyone. But I'm up and I'm about, and I've got a lovely view of the garden. It's beautiful, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day. But as I tell you about all the time, I've got non-negotiable habits. My non-negotiable habits is to come on, do a live, and offer some value to as many actors as possible. Lumley Home, Anastasia. Wow, I love that. Lovely weather, like being back in Cyprus. Absolutely, it is. Although I think Cyprus is a bit better prepared for this weather. Air conditioning everywhere, in every shop and every home. That's why you probably find that we're moaning a lot. Oh dear. Right, so I'm going to offer some real value today. I mean, like really, really good value for actors. How to succeed with casting directors, because a lot of people don't know how to succeed with casting directors, how to get on their radar, how to really start to build the kind of connection that you need in order to succeed in your career. All right. So at any point, if you've got any questions, make sure you come on and you comment. Also, show me some real, kind of really good mindset around the way that you operate, and share. Press the share button. Forward this video on your feed, on your stream, to help out other actors. Believe me, the way that the world actually works is the more you help others, actually, the more you succeed yourself. Okay, it's just every Newton's law, every force, every action has a equal or opposite equal reaction. There we go. That was the law. I got it out there. So when you help, you genuinely get that back. I promise it works. This is why I do every single day. I offer value to actors. I feel that I get it back in droves. I do. Okay, right, guys. Jane says, good morning, Matt. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. If you've joined us, say hello. Okay, let me know that you're along for the ride and that you're looking forward to this piece of content in how to succeed with casting directors. Okay, this is a very, very valuable piece of content. Make sure that you're along for the ride, and ask any questions at any point. So let's get into it. So casting directors. So here's how you've got to rethink your whole approach as an actor. Okay, so currently you think you're the best actor in the world, and you want a casting director to just pick you up and kind of go, yes, you're the best actor in the world. Here's the biggest part that I've got in the biggest film that I'm casting. And it doesn't work like that. It really, really doesn't. Just like, okay, I, as a business, don't just ring somebody up out of the phone book and say, I'm the best acting coach in the world. You need to come and kind of pay for my services. It doesn't work like that. That's what's called a cold lead. They'd say, well, I don't know you. I don't want anything to do with you because you've just rung me out of the blue. And it's like, it's tough. Now, what people know in business is that you need to warm people up. Okay. Now, this isn't tactical or, people trying to take your money. This is just genuine relationships and relationship building. This happens everywhere. Okay, you guys need to know who I am, what I'm about, before you put your trust in me. Okay, you just wouldn't, even from the first time of watching one of these videos, you wouldn't just jump into my inbox and say, right, you're going to make me succeed in acting. No, you have to, one, trust that I can do that, which when people follow a lot of my content and see a lot of the things that are happening around my organization and the success people have, people start to realize that, potentially I am the person that can help them to the next stage of their career. But it takes time. Now, you as an actor are a business, and your customer effectively is the casting directors, maybe directors, maybe producers. They're the people that on a business to business basis, B2B, come in and connect with your acting business, right? Are you following me so far? Thinking like a business, acting and behaving like a business. In that initial first contact, they don't know you. They haven't built a trust or a rapport with you. So say if your agent just sends you for the first time a submission with your name on, they don't know you. They don't know much about you. Then if you're very lucky, they may give you an opportunity to self-tape or audition, but it's very rare. So how do you start to build a trust and a rapport with a casting director? In the same way that I'm doing it with actors right now. You slowly, over a period of time, warm them up. And that, if you've got an agent, that's between you and your agent, submitting, emailing, making sure that they are aware of what you are doing. So there's various different ways, okay? Various different ways to make sure a casting director knows who you are and starts to very slowly warm up to who you are, what you sell, what your personality traits are. Okay, so I'm just going to go very quickly. I know I go very deep and I'm very, but I know my stuff and it's hard to get it out sometimes. So Coca-Cola, when you're going to the cinema, you will see Coca-Cola on the television advert before you leave. Then you'll hear it on the radio. Then you'll see it on a bus shelter. Then you'll see it on a poster above the cinema attached to a film. And then finally, when you get to the counter, bought your tickets, they then go, and then you then go, right, I'll have a Coke. But that's the point. How much warming up? Coca-Cola know this. They're the biggest marketing machine in the world. They know that it takes all of that warming up and desire before you then purchase. It's the same thing in sales, and it's the same thing when you are asking a casting director, which is effectively your customer in a way as an acting business. It's effectively what you're doing similar. Now think of all the ways that you can connect with a casting director in a very safe way, okay? Casting directors are on social media, and it's their job to be aware of actors. So you can tag them into your work, your marketing package, okay? Very, very low, it's not too invasive. Obviously don't DM them, but it's fine. As well as that, when I speak to casting directors, they do say you can email them, but there needs to be a point, and it needs to be a business email. It needs to be like, look, this is the problem that I solve for you. These are my personality traits, and these are when you come across a certain audition, this is what I'm going to be able to do for you, because I have a very distinct personality trait, which we all do. It's called a micro niche, and I can help you genuinely. Don't be an asshole. Be offering with anybody that you deal with, be offering what you can do for them, not the other way around. So don't be asking, I need you to help me with becoming famous, okay? It's literally, I can help you. I have definitive skills, personality traits. I've done so much training. I'm an actor, and look, this is what I can do for you in your casting department. Brilliant. That is what you do. And particularly when you've got new marketing material, when you've got show reels, when you've got when you're appearing in something, even offer tickets for theatre shows. Always offer tickets for theatre shows, so that you're always giving before receiving anything. Okay, so that's how as well you can warm up a casting director. As well as that, events. Our students at MZA are incredibly lucky this summer. I've arranged three 3 different events with casting directors, 3 of the biggest casting directors in the country, where they're actually coming on Zoom to watch every single one of my MZA students perform. All of them. All right. So not just having a Q&A, what do you do? Like literally they are watching my students perform. And that is a way of MZA students being warmed up so the casting directors know who they are. Don't just know who they are, they've seen them perform live. So that's events is great. We then follow that up with an email with all of their links and everything else so that they have that on file. That's something that we do as an organization, which is amazing, I think. Stephen Brailsford says, at my son's graduation, Stephen, you should be so proud, mate, if you'd pass on my well wishes and congratulations, and everybody else who's watching as well. We all wish Stephen's son the most amount of happiness with the fact that he's graduated. It takes an awful lot of work and effort. Well done. So that is another way to warm up your business transaction with what is a casting director. Okay, very, very important. So we've got 3 different ways there as well. Submitting constantly. Now, what you are hoping for is that then when there is that role and it's like, right, you've built up this relationship, they've seen you at an event or maybe at a short film event, or you've invited them to come and watch you, or you've dropped certain handles on social media. All of a sudden then, when you're submitted on that role that you really, really want, it's not a cold submission. The casting director goes, right, you really want them to be saying, right, I just don't stop seeing this person. Everywhere I go, they're there. So I think it's about time, I actually saw what they've got. I'm going to get self-tape at least. Brilliant. I want to see, what the fuss is about this person. And then that's a warm lead. And then you get that audition that you require. You get in the room, eventually, and they're kind of like, I just hear so much about you, or they've seen you before and they went, I remember seeing you at this and this and this, or I came to see you at that theatre production, thank you for the tickets, I sent my assistant even, and they said you were brilliant. And you have that conversation and that rapport. But that takes effort, and it takes lots and lots of effort. It really, really does. But business is all about relationships. You're a business and you have to harbor those relationships. You have to genuinely put time and effort into building those relationships, because so many actors think that everybody's there to do everything for them. They think that the casting director is just going to pluck them out of a room of people. And it takes time and effort. And when you're a business, business owners, which you are as an actor, but normal business owners don't sit around thinking and waiting that somebody's just going to drop £1 million contract on their doorstep. Doesn't happen that way. They have to build over years and years and years and years the relationships that gets the benefit of, down the line, that £1 million contract. But your actors don't think that they need to do that. They think it's just a talent competition. It's not. It's a business. It's a business. And when you get to a certain stage, so many people can act and so many people can, it's like, right, who's put the time and energy into harboring those relationships? Who has put the time and energy into thinking and operating like a business? And then who has put the time and effort, like we mentioned yesterday, into the skills required to get certain roles? It's a sad fact, but the acting industry is just like any other industry. Eventually, it comes down to the person who works the hardest gets the biggest results. It always will be. And I'm so glad about that, because I think that's fair, right? I genuinely think that's fair. The person who works the hardest learns the most. All right? Genuinely. So it's the talent only takes you so far. Okay? Talent only takes you so far. Then what happens is that the people that work the hardest go further. Okay? Hard work beats talent every time. That's from my experience. I promise. Okay. We've had some, oh, thank you so much, guys. Really, really good feedback. Emmanuel says, hey, and I agree. Jane says, I email casting directors every day, and I've had a few replies. You do, Jane, and it's brilliant. Okay. And that's become one of your, what I call non-negotiable habits. You do it all of the time, and it's fantastic. That you are one of the hardest working people. I coach, train, and Jane, it will pay off. What you do is make success inevitable through the hard work that you put in. IKEA Josh says, I agree. Thank you so much, mate. I really, really appreciate that. Barnsley Youth Theatre says, wise words. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that from, particularly if you're representing such a fantastic organisation like Barnsley Youth Theatre. If ever you need any help or you want me to do anything to the wonderful young people there, for the wonderful young people, if ever you want me to chat or anything like that, just let me know. I'd be perfectly happy to give up my time to do that, because I love helping young people. I end up in lots of schools and things because this is my passion, to help actors, young actors. It really doesn't matter. Anybody else? Have we got any comments to make on that? Remember, guys, this was really valuable. Anybody that's kind of pursuing a career in acting, this has probably been one of the most valuable videos I've ever really put out in a morning. So what I would suggest is if you've only caught a bit of it, go back, make some notes, and use the value that I've offered here, because genuinely it really is some of the kind of best advice I've laid out in terms of how to genuinely succeed. Barnsley Youth Theatre says, absolutely would be amazing for our young people to get such great advice. Absolutely, anytime. Genuinely, just set something up. It's just what I do. You know, it's fine. Genuinely love it, Barnsley Youth Theatre, and what a fantastic organisation you are. I'm aware of you. Genuinely, well done. Thank you. Good morning, says Philomena. Right, so make sure you go back and watch this. It's been, like I say, there's been a lot of value added here. Just a few things really to kind of signpost you further into kind of more help, advice. So much free advice going on with regards to I've got a YouTube channel, Matt Zina Acting Tips. Make sure you get on there, which is like longer form advice, a bit like this really. Then we've got I've got a couple of online digital courses in presenting and in the Trinity Acting method, which obviously certificates at the minute. And I think like they're going for, I think at the minute there's a massive offer on these Udemy courses. And I think they're kind of going out at like 17, under 20 quid, which is amazing to see that you get a course in presenting and a course and it's certificated. And you can get that through my link tree. So make sure you click on it. As well as that, we're kind of getting a waiting list together for September for free trial classes. If you're lucky enough to be in Yorkshire, we've got free trial classes in Yorkshire in person, and wherever you are in the world, we've got our online class, which I'm sure some of the people on here this morning will say will agree are amazing. So you can have a free trial class. Emmanuel says, some people are jealous of me because the numbers that I get due to hard work. Emmanuel, there's a mindset in this industry where everybody thinks they're competing, and we think differently at my organisation. I train people to think differently, and that is that actually, if you start to think that acting work out there is everywhere, and that you just need to find who you are in your niche, then you're not really competing with anybody. And then you don't have to be envious and jealous. And yes, you will find that, Emmanuel, because you do work incredibly hard and you understand the secret that we kind of look at in the elite mentoring scheme, where we look at some practices that I've kind of picked up over 20 years. And what we find, Emmanuel, is that you've picked up on that and you do get your numbers in, your 4 or 5 roles to choose between every single month. You do incredibly well. Auditions galore. You had 2 yesterday, and it will absolutely, if people have the right mindset, it will make them feel slightly envious. Craig says, don't know if you remember, he used to attend YSA Bradford, wanted to get back into it now, give it my all. It's time. Craig, I do remember you. I remember the beard. Absolutely, Craig. Get in touch, okay? Don't just make a statement. I always say don't procrastinate. Go from thought to action instantly. Craig, I expect a DM within my inbox with your most current email within the minute. Okay, there we go. There's a challenge for you. IKEA Josh said I did performance in front of all in my school and now. So I think there's the rest of the story there, but I just want to say well done for anybody that performs in front of anybody. You got to remember, performing is you. We're all strange people, okay? To put ourselves out there, to put our insecurities and doubts and all of that, but lay them out for people to look at. That's the strangest thing that we do. You know, we put our vulnerabilities on show. In fact, this is when you know that you're a particularly good actor because you feel comfortable laying out your vulnerabilities and insecurities. A lot of people, when you look at like Victorian theatre and kind of the razzle dazzle era, they were actually masking their insecurities with a personality. Now, modern acting is actually about laying out your vulnerability, which for me is the single most brave thing you can do in the whole world. It really, really is. So to perform in front of anybody is amazing. So well done, IKEA Josh. Barnsley Youth Theatre, working together is key. One of the best ways to find connection. Absolutely. We don't need to compete in this industry. I promise we have to have what's called an abundance mindset. An abundance mindset makes you think and feel like there's enough work out there for everybody. And this is going to sound like the most ridiculous thing I've ever said, but I'm going to let you into a secret. There is enough work out there for everybody. I promise. Okay. And the people who, and there's a few people in here that have been part of kind of my elite mentor program, where I mentor them one-on-one, have absolutely found that. Okay. Genuinely, it's just mindset approach and your physical approach in terms of effort. You can make success inevitable through hard work. Okay. I once did a podcast with a good friend of mine, a guy called Kevin Clifton, who's kind of won Strictly and stuff like that. And he is the absolute, that's his absolute mantra. He'll always be the hardest working person in the room. And I fully agree with him. He said he might not be the most talented, he will always be the hardest working person in the room. And so he's made success inevitable. He would go to, would you believe it? He would go to dance classes in London from Grimsby, sleep in his car. Promise you, sleep in his car, then make his way back. Now, if that isn't the hardest working person, and obviously he won Strictly Come Dancing, and he's a massive success in musical theatre, the West End, and I was his acting coach for a little while as well. If you've not got that level of effort, and hard work and that mindset, then there will be people who have. Okay, right. I've really loved this morning. Make sure you get in touch if you want a free acting class, if you want me to offer more value. The best way is actually go on my link tree, which is linktr.ee/Matt Zina. But genuinely, it'd be good to hear from any of you if you've ever got any questions or if there's any kind of value I can have. Make sure you add. I can tell you it's time to get off because I can't speak properly. Make sure you have a wonderful time in this sun, okay? Focus on the positives, focus on the fact that you can spend some time relaxing, absorbing this wonderful period of weather we're having, and just imagine that you're abroad, and make sure you keep lots of fluid going down the hatch. Right, much love everyone, have an amazing day.